All right, so we just covered the practice of meditation in light of the idea of refuge. And so this really is the whole idea of refuge. It's for your sake. It's for the individual's sake. And of course, by taking refuge in virtue, by taking refuge in the path, by taking refuge in the enlightened mind and the enlightened beings, of course, indirectly there's a great benefit to others. But fundamentally, it is a liberation of self. It is an act of literally oneself finding refuge. Because if we as ourselves have not found refuge, if we have not found our ground, if we have not found our own protection, then how can we offer protection to others? How can we offer refuge to others or guide others on the way towards their own refuge? So, in this way, this is where we are working with our own needs, and that's important. And so, to go a little deeper into this meditation on basically our divine refuge, I wanted to offer a few mantras that can be used in the previous meditation. So, in the same way, we're bringing the objects of refuge into the heart, okay? And if you are not doing the formless meditation on refuge, where you're just releasing into natural awareness, if you're releasing into the nature of being, then you're going to be using the image of this being or the feeling of this being, the qualities, the thinking of the being. And that's going to usually come in the form of images and sensations in the body and feelings. But another very important thing that we can bring into that is a mantra to deepen the connection. And with this mantra, it's like we initiate the mantra in our heart, and then it becomes almost like we are listening to the mantra arising from the very ground of being, from the very ground of this holy being, this holy refuge to which we are looking. So, a couple mantras that I wanted to offer. The first is the most universal, which is the mantra Om. Okay, and it's said especially within the Hindu tradition, within the Vedic tradition of India, that this mantra Om, it's the syllable, it's the sound of the ultimate. It encompasses everything, and actually, when we chant it out loud, it's actually Aum. So there's a Aum, Aum, Aum. It's almost like it becomes the hum of the ground of being vibrating. Okay? And so this is a very beautiful mantra to just drop into, and you can actually work with it with the breath, or you can simply focus on the mantra. So if you're working with the breath, it would be inhale Om, exhale Om, inhale Om, exhale Om. And even though it's sort of a formless mantra, there can be, as we hold it in the heart, this devotion can arise to what Om is pointing to, which is this ground of being, the true nature of reality, the true nature of our spiritual heart. So we repeat this Om, Om, Om in our mind internally. And every time the mind wanders, we simply bring it back. We can ride the breath, we can use the breath with the mantra, but that's the practice. So Om is one. If we are more drawn to Christian objects of refuge, there are two mantras that we can use, and a lot of times a mantra is just a name for the divine. So in the case of Christianity, Catholicism, anything that is a path stemming from the teachings of Jesus, then we can use the name Jesus. So we can just, again, in the heart center, repeat the name Jesus, 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 devotionally, reverently, and bringing, they say in the Christian tradition, I love this term, you are bringing your mind into a state of poverty of thought. You know, this idea of poverty is very important in Christianity because as we have less on the outside, we're more drawn to look to the inside. We're more drawn to look towards the divine. And so by choosing just one word and just coming back to it and coming back to it, we actually are engaging in the most profound practice of poverty, the poverty of thought, poverty of mind. We're giving up all of the thinking, all of the endless, dazzling display of the mind, and we're just honing in on one sound, on one name, Jesus, Jesus. Another Christian mantra that we can use is the Aramaic for "Come, Lord." It's another invocation of Jesus, and another invocation of the divine. And this is Maranatha, Maranatha, Maranatha. And as we repeat it in the heart, we can break it down into these syllables. Ma, ra, na, ta. Ma, ra, na, ta. So again, it's this cadence of the mantra in the heart. And this brings our minds once again into this poverty of mind, this poverty of thought, this single-pointedness of mind. That's the way it's described in the yogic traditions and in the Buddhist tradition. Bringing the mind, bringing all thoughts to one thought, bringing all desires to one desire. And that is the desire for the divine. That is the desire for union. That is the desire for this merging of our being with the divine, and the attaining of the awakening of the divine mind. So it's this way, you can think of it almost as a stream coming down into a very narrow point where it's totally focused and very strong. And what's interesting is that though there is this narrowing, within that one point then we find the whole. But a unified whole, not a fractured whole of many different thoughts going in many different directions. It's a balanced whole. Okay, so those are some mantras there. And then if we want to step now into the Buddhist tradition, we have two mantras we can use. One is for the Bodhisattva Buddha of infinite compassion, Chenrezig Avalokiteshvara. And this is a very popular mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. And you can find this mantra online, and you can look up Avalokiteshvara, Chenrezig. The Dalai Lama is said to be an emanation of Chenrezig. And again, like the other mantras, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, in the heart, filling up with this divine energy that it brings in, guiding the mind into this one sound, this one mantra, this one directionality of loving kindness, of compassion, and of deep wisdom. And typically, Chenrezig is seen as a masculine form of compassion. However, it's also somewhat ambiguous, and in the Chinese tradition, Chenrezig or Avalokiteshvara becomes Guan Yin and is there a female representation. So it's really fluid here. It's the heart of compassion. That's what it is. And so then on the other side, the explicitly feminine side, we have Tara. Tara, the swift lady liberator, the swift mother of compassion, the mother of all Buddhas, right? The womb of all Buddhas. Great Mother Tara, green in color, one leg engaged in the world, one leg in meditative equipoise, the spiritual activist, the being who has vowed to attain enlightenment in the body of a female, the body of a woman, and then to work for the benefit of all sentient beings. And so we can invoke her loving heart, her tenderness, her compassion, and her swift blessings. And she's also particularly potent in times of crisis to protect us from all of the adversities of life and to guide us on the path towards liberation. And so her mantra is Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha, or Swaha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Okay, so again, Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. In the heart center, filling up with that energy, and letting it fill your whole being, taking refuge in Mother Tara, in this divine manifestation of enlightened compassion. And on the other hand, you can also, I just remembered, of course, Mother Mary. This is another female embodiment of the divine that you can also do this meditation on. And Mary, Mary, Mother Mary, you can go into that. Finally, we can also, if you're into the Hindu traditions, there is Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, which is the call of Shiva, and then there is also Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, which is the call of Vishnu. And then, of course, there is the name Allah, which is called in the Islamic tradition. So the point is, you can use these mantras, or you can find a mantra of the divine form that you're called to, and these can serve as a way to deepen and focus your meditation. Okay? That's all on that for now.